Hello, everybody. Steven Sitkowski here. Welcome to this week's edition of Market Insights. What a great day. Got up this morning, headed up to the mountains. We've received 22 inches of snow up there. So, enough time for them to groom and just had an absolute ball. It was a Bluebird day. And then come home and open my trading account and go, oh, made more money today while I was skiing than the average family makes in a month, which I never take for granted. That is a privilege. That's why I love teaching other people. I mean, anybody can do this. You just got to get started. That's always the hardest part. And then you've got to learn the things that you need to know to be successful. It's a pretty simple formula. Anyway, glad to have you with once again. Let me make sure I share my screen. There we go. Half the time I miss on the first go around. Then my son sends me a text, Dad, is this first time you've ever done this? And then I have to go re-record. We're going to get it on one take this time, bug. Anyway, it is February the 10th. 2025, quick reminder that everything that we do here is for educational purposes only. It is not intended as investment advice. So what's moving the markets? Tech stocks leading the market higher. And it's nice because some of them have gotten a little bit beaten up recently. But you remember me talking to you about NVIDIA when NVIDIA had a pullback a couple of weeks ago, and I said, woe unto he or she who bets against NVIDIA. That's what I used to say about Apple years ago. There are certain stocks that when you look at their leadership and their positioning, any kind of a drawdown is typically an opportunity. Earnings season winding down. It's been a pretty good earnings season. About 75% of stocks reported have beaten their earnings estimate. Not bad. Consumer expectation for inflation a year from now, 3%, which is about what we're running now. And we've got some new data that'll be coming out on inflation this week. 10-year Treasury, pretty steady at about 4.5%. I prefer it under 4.5. And oil prices currently in the low 70s, and they're just not doing a whole bunch. What to watch this week that's going to move the market? We didn't get any real announcements today. Tomorrow, we get the NFIB Optimism Index, so that's from small business owners, expected to move down from the previous month. And then news starts to pick up. We got CPI number coming out. We're expecting month over month at 0.3%, year over year at 2.8. So the fact that the typical consumer expects inflation is going to go to 3 means they're expecting a little bit of a bump. Core CPI year over year is 3.1. Previously, it was 3.2. We'll see if it hits that 3.1 figure. On Thursday, we get initial jobless claims coming out. Producer price index, so that's inflation at the wholesale level. So that's another big one. So got to keep an eye on the news both Wednesday and Thursday. We get retail sales numbers coming out on Friday. It's going to be a very busy week, and certainly a week where you should be paying attention. There are a number of data points that, in fact, could have an influence on the market. Last week's heat map, there's NVIDIA, up 15%, right? Just exactly what I told you. I don't get them all right, but some of them are easier to read than others. Broadcom up 8%. Lilly was up 7%. Costco, Philip Morris, Walmart. Boy, Walmart's just been a steady performer. I've been banging that with covered calls now for about a year. And speaking of a year, here's a 1-year heat map. Look, Walmart up 81%. So you get that, Plus your covered call income, pretty cool. Costco, 47%, Tesla, 88%, Amazon, 37%, Meta, 52%. Doing covered calls on Meta, doing covered calls on Amazon, doing covered calls on Walmart, on Nvidia, just to name a few. Nvidia for the last year is up 91%. And there's been a lot of money to be made. And then you throw options on top of that, it gets super exciting. Market sentiment just always blows me away. I shouldn't say always. This week's edition blows me away. Only 33.3% of respondents think the market will be higher 6 months from now. 42% think the market will be lower. What are they looking at? I wish that they had to write a little essay as to why they feel the way that they feel. But I'm looking around, we're beating earnings estimates. Tech is back in vogue. Interest rates have stabilized and are coming down. Looks like we have inflation under control. Yeah, the tariffs are kind of a wild card, but do I think that's going to bring the market down? I really don't. How much is the Fed going to cut rates? Right now, this was a change since I was with you last week. We're expecting the first cut. This is from the CME FedWatch tool, at the end of July. So much for cuts every month, right? And not another one until June of next year. So it's not going to be the Fed driving the market. It'll be earnings and innovation driving the market. 1 year sector return, so the S&P 500 over the last 12 months is up about 21%. The sectors that have beaten that: communications, financials, utilities, discretionary. Tech is beat up by 10%. I guess we'll call that a beat. Industrials is in the neighborhood. Then we start getting a drop off. Staples, real estate, energy, materials, and healthcare. Look at healthcare. Produced a return of 1.48% in the last year. Hell, you could have done that with a checking account. Let's take a look at the charts. All right, the SPX, this is the S&P 500. So on Friday, we had a drawdown. We've held that 50-day moving average, as you can see, closed higher on the day. Clearly, the S&P is bullish. And what about the Qs? Probably a similar profile. Yep, just what I anticipated. So both of those are bullish at the moment until something comes along and tells us different. We will be predominantly taking bullish trades. That's worked out well. On more than 100 closed trades last year, average return on those trades, 15.8%, average holding period, 17.3 days. That's almost 1% per day. Pretty fantastic year. If you have any questions, you want to run something by us, you can reach us at team@marketmasterygroup.com. Team@marketmasterygroup.com. All right. I will see you next week, hopefully with some more tales from the slopes. Till then, be good, be blessed, and bye for now.